Hey, what's up guys, OSG back, and I've been thrown down the gauntlet by none other than Larry Bundy Jr, who after watching my 20 best C64 platform games video made a comment that, and I quote, "But I bet you can't make a top 20 C64 racing games list. You're really gonna have to scrape the bottom of the barrel for that one." Well Larry, I'll have you know that I have done just that, and I have made a list, and to be honest I never even had a problem, apart from some tough decisions on what to leave out. So without more delay, let's get started with the 20 best Commodore 64 racing games in order of greatness. In 20th place is Test Drive 2 The Duel. There were a number of games jostling around trying to get into this list, but for me, although this is inferior to the original, I had to include it as me and my mate used to love playing this. He was great at it, I always missed the gas stations. Good times and great memories. Nineteenth position is taken by Supercars. Yes, I know it's nowhere near as good as the Amiga, and if you play that game first then you wouldn't give us a second look. But if you played this on the C64 back in the day, you would have, like me, thought it was a pretty good game. The intro music is nice, as is the garage and car sales scenes, but the lack of in-game music is a letdown. Test Drive is in 18th place. This was the original game. It had slightly worse graphics and sound than Test Drive 2, but was way faster and more responsive, and all in all was a more realistic driving experience, especially for someone who was 7 years too young to drive. In 17th place we have Revs, a Jeff Crammond game here, so we know we're going to get a super realistic game, and we did, but maybe it was too realistic, as a kid I struggled with this, but now, after revisiting now I'm older, it's a really good Formula 3 simulator. Sixteenth position is taken by Indy Heat. This is a great looking overhead view racing game. While some people don't like this kind of super sprint view, I personally love it, and the gameplay is unforgiving but manageable with a little practice. The Great American Cross Country Road Race takes 15th place, and this is a proper love-hate game for lovers of the genre. Whilst you have some of the fastest racing action on the system, you are constantly slowed down by having to stop for gas or being caught off the cops, making it a bit more strategic than your average racing game. In 14th place is Hot Rod. This is much in the style of Supercars, but the in-game music adds a lot to this game. It's slightly slow but ultimately an enjoyable top-down racer. I never played this until recently, but it's well worth a look and well worth its place on the list. 13th position is taken by Super Off-Road. This is still one of the best racing games ever for me on arcade. In fact, it's pretty good on every system I've ever played it on. Again, like with Indy Heat, it's an overhead view, but the off-road track makes it more fun, especially when you hit that nitro. Supercycle is in 12th place. I first saw this on Zypho's stream and it was on Amstrad. It ran great and was everything that Super Hang-On wasn't on the system. I immediately searched my ROMs for it and there it was, and it's even better on the C64 than it is on the Amstrad. It's the best motorbike racing game on the system by a clear mile, although it would benefit from some proper corner signs. The 11th place is taken by Turbo Outrun. Even though people hated the original Outrun on the C64, I still loved it. But this game was everything that game wasn't, i.e. fast, with great controls and maybe one of the best SID soundtracks ever. My only issue with this game is that the car just feels too big for the road. In 10th place we have Turbocharge, another game that I never knew about when I was young. This is everything that Chase HQ should have been. It's from System 3, so we know we're going to get a great looking game, but the star of this game isn't the looks or the speed, it's the music. If ever a game was enhanced by a soundtrack, this is it. It's just so good. Street Rod takes 9th position. Pure nostalgia for me with this one. It's a racing game with a difference, as most of your time is spent preparing for a race. But that's what this game is all about. You have to soup up your classic hot rod and then take it to the track or drag race where you race for cash or pink slips. Eighth place is taken by Power Drift. Who would have thought that such a good arcade game would not only work on the C64 but also outdo the truly horrific Amiga version. It takes all the elements from the arcade and without being too ambitious converts them into a super fast, super fun 8-bit version. In 7th place we have Rally Speedway. Although this looks like the worst game on this list in terms of graphics, it's got some of the best top-down racing gameplay I've played on any system. The gameplay is very like Micro Machines, which is also a game I loved. If you get past the dated looks and give this a try, you won't be sorry. Grand Prix Circuit is in 6th place. This is the most realistic driving game on this list, and it's a true feat of coding. To get something that in my eyes plays near as good as any Formula 1 simulator working on an 8-bit system and having stunning graphics and sound to boot deserves a high place on this list. It can be hard to master though, which puts some people off, but F1 sim fans will love and respect this. 5th place is taken by Slicks, another game that I had never heard of until someone mentioned it on one of my live streams. Anyway, I fired it up live and found that I was absolutely pants at it and gave up. After a stream I gave it another try that turned into 4 hours flat of getting used to the game, but it was worth it as now it's one of my favourite games on the C64. In 4th place we have the arcade classic known as Buggy Boy. We all knew that this would be right up here as it's such a great conversion that is every bit as fun to play as the arcade game, one of the few times that we weren't let down by an arcade racing conversion. Pitstop 2 is in 3rd place, one of my most played 2-player games on the C64. Me and my best friend were crazy about this when we were young, and it was our favourite game to spend hours on racing against each other. It has what was mind blowing at the time, super realistic pit changes where you actually perform the tasks yourself, which was really fun when you were trying to do them quickly and get back out onto the track. Second place is taken by Racing Destruction Set, another super addictive game that shines in 2-player mode. This is a truly brilliant, super customizable racing game that is not only a joy to play still today, but will have you laughing all the while. You can change almost everything in this game, even the gravity level, which will cause a lot of laughs too. And now in 1st place, well, it could only be one game, and that's Stunt Car Racer. Even today when I fire this up, it astounds me about how fast and smooth it plays. It's another game that was absolutely awesome on every system it was released on. I lost so many hours to this game and I never got tired of it, which is the mark of a true great racing game. Okay, that's it for this video. Larry, I look forward to hearing your comments on these games as you eat humble pie. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what your favourite C64 racing games were, and if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more great retro content. Till next time, this is OSG signing out.